Essentially, post-traumatic stress disorder is not merely a stress and anxiety disorder. It can be better understood as an identity disorder, because once a person has been in the military and once a person has gone off to war, he or she comes home different forever. The traumatic wounds of war take over the entire consciousness. So the trauma is very big and the identity of the survivor becomes very small. What we see in PTSD is an individual who is still living in a war consciousness. I've been working with veterans for almost 30 years. After about a decade of the best psychotherapy I could offer, I realized with my veterans that the wounds of war are far deeper than even the best psychotherapy could penetrate. I began a worldwide search in the warrior tradition. I traveled all over this continent working with Native American veterans and their communities. I now travel to Vietnam. I've traveled other places around the world to study the warrior tradition and how other cultures of other times and places brought their warriors home. I went in search of modern means by which we could adapt these ancient techniques to our warriors. These include rituals of purification and cleansing, storytelling not just between veterans and not just the veteran to the therapist, but in the community, acts and practices of reconciliation between veterans and civilians, bringing veterans back to places of service, such as Vietnam, where they can meet with former enemy combatants and reconcile and enter into a shared community of war survivors.
Several years ago, and no way. But then she let me read the articles. We wrote to Ed, and he had some of the other vets write back to us, and got to see that there could be some healing for the PTSD. He sent a list of stuff, like he had several books about the ancient Greek healing, and this was something that he was trying to produce in the PTSD, and it made a lot of sense. And revisiting the site of trauma, and also the people, seeing the people of that country, and this was very helpful. Most of the guys in the group were just no way they had such animosity towards the Vietnamese, towards the war, towards what was going on.
I have founded a nonprofit organization called Soldier's Heart. Soldier's Heart exists as a veterans advocacy and safe return program. We travel around the country educating professionals and clergy in how to help heal post-traumatic stress disorder. We work with communities to create veterans return programming, talking circles in churches and synagogues and mosques, church and other faith organization liturgy.
Please join me with a dua for our prophet as we close. Oh Allah,
to give veterans the spiritual support they need. But I need to say something directly to you, veterans, my brothers and sisters. You carry the truth. We in civilian society don't know it. War, violence, destruction, and suffering will continue. And you veterans and other victims of war will continue to suffer until all of us know and share the truth about war. We are responsible to help you come home and restore life, and we need you to come home to us. We do understand finally that there are ways of helping you come home. You don't have to live in a psychic war zone the rest of your life. The roadmap has been studied and laid out for you to walk home and continue to serve us as honorable elder warriors for the rest of your lives. Please come home to us. Please let us help you come home. Let's walk this warrior's path together, bringing healing to you and healing and recovery to our entire country.